Okay, so in this example, we're looking at relationships in a scatter plot. Let's look at the graph. And you always want to look at the title of the graph, and you want to look at what each axes represent. So we have our x-axis. I need you to label that. And we have our y-axis. So what's the title of the graph? Sugar and calories in drinks. So what are we looking at? The x-axis tells you how much sugar's in the drink, and the y-axis tells you how many calories in the drink. We're going to look at if there's a relationship between the two, okay? So let's just look at the first question, then we'll go back to looking at the relationship. The first question asks you what the point 28, 120 represents. So you're going to label this x, y. I want you to put that on your paper so that you know where to find that on the graph. So we're going to move how many spaces to the right? 28 spaces to the right. Oops. Positive 28, roughly around here. And how many spaces going up? 120, which is roughly around, which one is 120? Right here. So what does the point 28, 120 represent? Yes, we know that the label here is energy drink. So it's telling us that an energy drink has 28 grams of sugar and 120 calories. How many grams of sugar and how many calories are in a regular soda? So let's find regular soda on the graph right here. And we need to figure out what point is that at. We know that the energy drink had 120 calories, right? It looks like they're on the same line. So we can say that it has 120 calories, and we're going to estimate how many grams of sugar does it have. It's just past 30 on the x-axis, so let's estimate. Yes?
32, because it's like closer to
32, yeah, let's say 32 32 grams of sugar, give or take, yes. Which point represents a drink with at least 25 grams of sugar, but more than 140 calories? So we need to figure out which one has at least 25 grams of sugar, but more than 140 calories. Let's look at our calories. Here's 150. This would be roughly 140, so it has to be past 140. What's the only drink that has more than 140 calories? Natural fruit drink. Natural fruit drink. It's important to understand what this means. We're looking at a trend. So on the side of your page, I want you to take some notes here. What is a trend in data? A trend in data is the general direction in which the values in a relationship move. Trend can be upward, so the points might look something like this, in an upward direction, so they would be positive or upward. Or the trend can move downwards, which is called a negative relationship. So we're going to look at the points, and we're going to figure out what direction are they in. What is the trend? Here are the points. See the points there? I circled them in blue. So for example, the trend is going upward. So there's an upward positive trend. But what does that mean in this question? Think about the two variables. We're looking at a relationship between sugar and calories. This is important. Listen. As sugar, the grams of sugar increases, as it gets greater, what happens to the amount of calories in a drink? The more sugar you have, what? The more calories you have, the calories increase. That's the trend. As sugar increases, the amount of calories increases. The more sugar in your drink, the more calories it has. Okay, so we kind of answered that question for E. What's the relationship? The relationship between sugar and calories is that as one of them increases, the other one increases. You can write that down, okay? Okay, so because there's a trend, because there's a relationship, we can make predictions about this data. So we're trying to use the trend, we know it's upward, to estimate if there were 80 calories in the drink, we're gonna predict roughly how many grams of sugar would there be because it's based on this trend. So let's figure out where is 80 calories on the graph. So I want you to do this. Draw a line through your points like this, and you're going to figure out here's 80 and I'm going to stop when I get to the line. Would you agree that this point here follows the trend of data? Would that be a good place to plot the point? And I'm going to figure out roughly how many grams of sugar would a drink with 80 calories have? And remember, you want to plot the point so that it follows the same type of trend. I would not plot the point over here. Would that make any sense? No, because it doesn't follow the trend. That makes no sense. So roughly how many grams of sugar would be in a drink that had 80 calories? What do you guys estimate? According to my point, I think I would say it's roughly 17 grams of sugar. If you got anywhere between like 16 to 20, that's a good estimate, okay?